The Singing Athlete.
I get asked about vocal range a lot, how to know what it is, how to write it down. So I thought we'd take this little time while we're all paused to figure out what is your vocal range. So we'll start with the low notes. So what's going to happen with these is there's going to be on the screen what note we're on, and then you'll just, when you get to the edge of your range where you can go no farther on the low or the high, you just write down wherever you get. So we'll start in this key. So gentlemen will do down here, ah, women will do this octave, walking down in half steps. So in music, this middle C is called C4, and so this one below it is C3, C2, C1, above that C5 and C6. We're going to start right here. This is going to be on ah, 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 keep going. When it gets too low, stop. One more. So let's do your high range now. So for high range, there's two things we want to know. We want to know what note you can sustain and hold out, and also what note you can touch for a second. And so we're going to do a scale that involves both of those things. So it's this pattern. You can do this on E to ah or ah to E, depending on what feels better in your voice. I'm going to demo it on ah to E, and then I'll show you the other option. So ah to E would sound like this. Ah, E. Or if that's not your best vowel, then you do E, ah, like this. E, ah. Either way is fine, so either ah to E, E to ah. If you are a female voice, you're probably going to want to eventually change to E-ah. When it starts to get high, ah is much easier to do up high than E is going to be. But sometimes in the middle range, it actually feels better to be on an E vowel. So let's get going. So we'll try that. I'm going to demo on ah-E from myself. Ah-E. And here for females, probably want to change to E-ah if you're not already on that. One more. And finally, we're going to do belting range. So this is a bit different for females and males. I'm going to start with the female range. So the pattern is this. We're looking to do this on a call sound. So belting is like a calling, like we're yelling across the street to someone. So if you feel like it needs to flip or you feel like it's starting to be strained, I want you to stop. You should not be pushing on this at all. Just trying to figure out where you can comfortably take this quality. So I'm going to demo on the sound way yeah, like an ah vowel, like bad or dad in an American accent. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can do way yeah, like yet, or you can do ya, like the word young. But I'm going to demo on way yeah. Here's the pattern. Way yeah. And now we'll do male voices. So men belt just like women do. It's a calling sound, like we're communicating across a distance. And so we're going to use way yeah, like the word bad, that vowel. If that's uncomfortable, you can do it on yeah, like yet, or ya, like the word young. So I'm going to demo on way yeah. Way yeah. So hopefully you wrote down where you got in terms of your vocal range. So my advice is to take 2 half steps off of whatever you did. So if on the low end, let's say you got down here, ah, and that was the lowest note you could phonate, that's an E. So I would go up 2 half steps, F sharp, and say F sharp is my lowest note. Because under stress, that's going to definitely come out. Right now you're at home, you're relaxed hopefully, and that's going to maybe give you a little more access to range. And when you're in a stressful situation, you don't want to have something on your resume that may or may not happen. On the upper end, we did this scale. So if this was my top note, if to an A I could go comfortably on sustained note, I'd probably take 2 half steps off of that and say G is my top comfortable note. That one that we touched on the top there is just to know kind of where you can stretch to, but we're trying to pay attention to the sustained note as the top of your range. And then again, 2 half steps off of that, just to make sure that when you're nervous, it's really going to happen. And it's the same with belting. So if you were not sure whether you were staying in a belt or switching to a mix, that's where recording yourself can come in handy. So I recommend you do that and listen back, and you're listening for a quality shift to go, does it sound like I'm using a call and then maybe shifting somewhere else in my body? At that point where you perceive the shift, that's probably the top currently of where you can take a belt quality. And then again, I would take 2 half steps off of that. So let's say I could do that key, which is a C on the top, comfortably, and that was staying in a belt. Then I would take 2 half steps off and say B flat's going to be the top of my belt that I write down on my resume.